We're about to install the 2012 to 2015 Lexus LX Hamilton upgrade kit for CarPlay and Android Auto. We've powered on the vehicle, put it in neutral, we've applied the parking brake, and a few other safety precautions. Make sure you're on a level surface and the wheels are chalked. We show in our earlier video of this car how to disconnect your battery. I'm going to ask anybody who's a DIY customer to do that now. Make sure you disconnect your battery before you begin. It's an important safety precaution. Let's get started. Inside the vehicle, we're going to begin by removing these two trim panels on either side of the center console. On the passenger side, we'll start with the small back end here, and we'll simply lift up and press out. This one requires a bit of wiggling. Just like that, it'll come free. We're going to now come on the driver's side here. We'll come in from the bottom, lift up and away from the center console, and we'll disconnect the start-stop button. Simply press down on the tab, wiggle the harness, and it'll come right out. We're now going to use a large Phillips head screwdriver, and we're going to remove two Phillips head screws on either side of the original radio. You could also use a 10mm socket to remove these. With the trim panels removed from either side, let's now take out these air vents. To do this, cover your hand in a towel as this plastic can be sharp. Simply going to reach in here and apply pressure straight out. We'll set the air vents in a safe place. To remove the air vent on the driver's side, we need to move this trim for the gauge cluster. You can either remove it fully, but what I like to do is just to move it. I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to reach in right behind here on this black plastic. We're just going to apply a little bit of forward pressure. Just like that, I'll have clearance to get rid of that air vent. Now I'm going to protect my hands, reach in under this air vent, do a little pressure, and we'll just maneuver very gently these plastic pieces around each other. They're strong, you're not going to hurt them. Just like that, we've got it set aside. We're now going to remove two bolts on either side of the factory screen and these two screws as well. So 1 and 2 on either side. For the top one, you can use either a Phillips head screwdriver or it's a 10mm bolt as well. With the bolts removed, we can now take out the factory screen. Protect your hand with a towel so you don't scratch the screen. Do a little back and forth there. The screen will come right out. You can see there are 3 wires attaching the screen to the vehicle. The blue LVDS, this white wire here, and then this is your main screen power wire. So we're just gonna press down on the tab. Never tug on the wires, just do a wiggling motion up and down and side to side. Take out these harnesses. Just like that, we can set the screen in a safe place. With the screen removed, we have revealed 2 more bolts here, and we can now remove these. These are for the factory radio. Before we take out the factory radio, we're going to grab this lower trim panel, the wood surround on either side. You can stabilize your fingers on the factory radio. We'll just go side to side, come right out. Couple harnesses to disconnect here. Press down on the tabs and wiggle. Don't pull on the wires. What happens is these harnesses start to get sticky with age. And so what you're doing when you wiggle front and back and side to side, you're just freeing up the plastic a little bit. For this small connector, you might need a little tool to press down on the tab there. I just used the edge of a trim pry tool. You could use a small screwdriver, or if you can reach in with your fingers, you can press it down. We'll now take this and we'll set it aside. With the lower trim box removed, we've grabbed a nice beach towel here. I recommend you either use a towel from your house or a soft blanket just to protect your center console. What we're going to do, we're going to pull out this factory radio now. We're just going to reach from either side here. A little side to side wiggling, pressure side to side increasing. It'll come right out. We've got exposed access to the wiring now. This blue wire is the other end of this blue one here, LVDS. This is what we call the main power connector here. This wire is going to have data and power. This is your FM antenna. A couple other antennas here and here. This is your audio harness. And down here, you have your harness for the 360 camera. Let's go ahead now, and we're just going to press down. There's a small little tab in here. I'm reaching with my fingernail. I'm just going to press down. I'll lift up on this black bar. I'm going to pull this power wire straight out. We're going to be using a Hamilton pigtail in place of this one and this one here. The Hamilton upgrade kit box is going to be installed up here. So we're going to be routing our wires from down here to up here. We're going to first take the main Hamilton power wire here. We're going to grab it and run it up through the dash. That way there, it'll be pre-prepared for where we want it to be when we plug in the box. The two connections we're going to make behind the radio, this is the power and this is the audio. We're going to plug in the Hamilton power. We'll connect to that gray bar. Then the vehicle original male will go into the Hamilton female. Press them gently together. Connect to that gray bar. Now we're going to leave this blank blank. We're going to remove the audio. So see we have main power, space 1, audio. Let's remove it. We'll take the Hamilton male, we'll plug it in its place. Now this harness does not always click, but make sure it is firmly seated. We'll now line up the original male into the Hamilton female, and we'll snap it into place. This is your accessory harness. The only thing you need to use from this is the USB. We have a few options for this. You can route it into that lower trim box below the radio. I think that's really cool. I show how to do that in my original video for this car. If you check out our YouTube channel, it's a little bit difficult. You take apart the trim box and put it in there. You could also route it to the glove box. We're just gonna drop it here on the driver's side where it'll be concealed. So we're gonna take it starting up top. We'll feed it down through the dash here. We're gonna pull through some slack. Gonna come out down here. And just passing down here using flexibility in the plastic. There it is. Once again, you've got options. This one is nice, you can use it. This is what I do in my Land Cruiser. I have an old Land Cruiser, not nearly as nice as this car, but you can just tuck it up out of the way when you're not using it, okay? Finally, we'll be connecting these LVDS wires here. This is the factory male LVDS. Let's just go ahead and connect that to the Hamilton female so you don't confuse yourself. Now the Hamilton male will be going back into the original screen. Let's grab the upgrade kit. Here it is. We'll make our connections. LVDS out. LVDS in. These are video signals. Got main power here. Then we're going to also grab the USB accessory. Your extra ports will not be used. These dip switches come preset from Hamilton on the Hamilton Motor Company Help Center. Hamilton Motor Company in the top part of the web page. Click Help Center, then Lexus Upgrade Kits. You can see dip switch settings there. And finally, it's very important, don't forget your Wi-Fi Bluetooth antenna. It does not matter where this antenna goes as long as you do not stick it to the box or to metal. You can attach it to the upper part of the dash, tuck it up into your insulation, or just leave it hanging in the wiring. I have never heard a complaint of a Hamilton system causing a rattle or anything moving around. This car's got quite a bit of space. We're going to leave that LVDS wire curled up. We'll uncurl this male here. Tuck this back into the car, and let's begin reassembly. For this radio, it's very important that this large power connector gets pressed down. You don't want that large power connector interfering with putting the radio back into the dash. We'll take the radio here, we'll line it out on both sides, give it a firm press and make sure it clicks in. You want these to all be flush, and the radio should hold itself in just using the clips. You should not have to have any bolts for the radio to hold itself in. We'll grab this trim box now. We'll reconnect the harnesses that we removed from this one. So we'll line it up and snap it into place. Now we'll put 2 Phillips head screws back in and the 2 bolts here. We're going to take the 2 bolts up top first. And now on either side of the radio, we're going to do these self-tapping style screws that we removed originally. These are metal going into plastic, and so you don't want to over tighten these. Just be gentle with them. Once you get them snug, you're good. With the 2 bolts complete, let's go ahead and put the screen back in place. Now grab your factory screen, and we're going to reconnect the original power wire here, as well as the original white wire. And then we're going to connect the new Hamilton LVDS here. See how we've grabbed between the LVDS wire? That's how we're going to inject video signal into the screen. We'll gently tuck the box back into place here. It will hold itself into place once we reinstall the screen. And as I mentioned, I've never heard a complaint about a Hamilton product rattling. With the box tucked gently behind the screen, we're going to reinstall the 4 screws holding the screen into place. The lower 2 holes will be for the bolts, and the upper 2 will be for the screws. With the self-tapping screws, there's no need to over-tighten these, be gentle. We're now going to take the air vents, line them gently back up into place, and we'll snap them down. The driver's side one, once again, we'll just maneuver this trim panel forward. Be very gentle so you don't scratch your trim panels. We'll line it up, snap it into place. Then we'll bring this trim panel back and snap it too into place. For the passenger side leather trim panel, we'll come down here, gently maneuver it around your seat. Line up the clips, and we'll just go from top to bottom. Being gentle, making sure your clips are in a line, and snapping it into place. For the driver's side, now reconnect your start-stop button. If you've placed your USB down here, as I have, just maneuver your trim panel around it. Then line it up. And we'll snap the clips into place. When you're not using this USB, you can easily tuck it under this panel. Just like that, the installation is complete.